Hey, I'm Lee, your gun writer, and we are out at Manatee Gun and Archery Club with Master Sergeant Bob Keller. Thanks for coming, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bob began his Army career in a Ranger battalion, later transferred over to Special Forces, got the green hat and the long tab, and for the last 10 years he's been in the Army's most elite Special Operations Unit. We're going to talk about training today with one of the best.
I started out doing law enforcement and helping out some friends with charity work, doing like corporate groups.
Sure.
And that was fun. I enjoyed actually watching people come off the range smarter and safer shooters.
Sure.
Because of that, I started watching some of the videos out there with other instructors, and that's really what pushed me to actually start the business.
How so?
Just the content that the guys were putting out really came, or you could tell it was from theory-based stuff that they thought would work. So with all the experience that I have, I figured, watching this, it was frustrating to see all the wasted time that is happening on the range for instruction when it could be going towards stuff that actually works. So having all that experience, I wanted to bring that out to the normal public, and especially for the law enforcement guys to, share my knowledge.
Right. You were in the military pre 9/11 and then afterward, obviously. How did firearms training change after 9/11?
So for me, a lot. It's night and day. And I've kind of fell into that category of what I was talking about with the other instructors. You only knew what you knew, or you were training on stuff that you thought would work. And until it happens, you don't know what's going to work. So then here comes, or post 9/11, all the deployments that I've been on, all the experiences that I've seen or situations that I've been in, that's what I'm bringing to the table. And that's, now I know what the important stuff is to actually train on.
So none of your stuff is based on theory. It's based on stuff that saved your bacon.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't teach anything on the range that I haven't actually seen in real life.
If you had to describe it, what is your training philosophy?
It's very simple, actually. Excellence in the basics, keep everything simple, master the fundamentals. Don't outrun your headlights. Start with the basics, master those, and then move on to all the cool guy stuff, the running and gunning, or the moving and shooting, the barrier work. But none of that makes sense to do if you don't know how to do the basics first.
What drills do you do when you're preparing to go overseas?
So I'm huge on the ready up drills. If you've seen any of my videos, that's basically all I do. Of course, I do the multiple targets and multiple shot drills, but all of those end up incorporating the ready up drill.
That's your basis.
So that is it, because almost any situation you're going to be in is still going to come down to a ready up drill. You're bringing the gun up, you're getting sight picture, and you pull the trigger.
And walk me through a ready up drill.
It is simple. all it is bringing the gun up from either low ready or high ready, getting it to your head or your eyes, getting sight picture, and pulling the trigger. It's all it is, the ready up. You're bringing the gun up, getting sight picture, pulling the trigger.
How much time you spend on that, if you had a percentage?
Yeah, so before I go anywhere or when I go to the range, I'd say 90% of the time is doing ready up drills. The other 10% of the time, I'm doing the moving and shooting and the running and gunning, shooting from the barriers, from cars, from windows, all that other stuff. But if I have a certain amount of time to shoot on the range and I don't have any fluff time, it's going to be all ready up drills, all on 3-inch target or 6-inch targets.
How much time are you spending doing combat reloads, high-speed reloads?
So now you're talking about combat reloads versus speed reload?
Yeah.
So I do both the same. So there is no difference. Which I've gotten, I guess, pushback on that from people, which I don't know why. I do a combat reload the exact same way as I do a speed reload, because why would I want to have two different versions in my head when the stress level's up?
Yeah.
So I feel as if I've pretty much mastered the combat reload or the speed reload, so I don't spend much time at all. For someone that's starting out, I would say spend a lot of time on doing your reloads until you are very proficient at it. And then once you have that, go to the range, maybe 5-10 minutes of doing reloads. The rest of the time, actually working on stuff that's really going to matter, which is the ready up drill.
You mentioned something earlier. You have 30 rounds in the magazine. So how important is the reloading?
Right. So you're talking rifle. You should never be running out of ammo anyhow. You're in a bad situation if that happens. Now, but combat reload, you get into a situation, you shoot 2 or 3 rounds, and you now have cover and you have a lull in the fight. Absolutely. Do a reload. You might as well always know you have 30 rounds in than not doing a combat reload and having 27 or 26.
Tell me how important the offhand shooting is.
So offhand shooting, to me, very important. I'd say it's second to the ready up drill. So pre-9/11 stuff, not knowing what we actually would be doing or how it was going to be, we practiced a lot on the kneeling, the sitting, from your back. You name it. It was a lot of position shooting. Then you go post 9/11 and see how it really is, and the thing that I used the most was offhand shooting when you're talking about position shooting. So very, very important. You have to just be confident that you can make just as hard a shot from the left or from your strong side.
When you're shooting offhand, are you focusing with your dominant eye, or are you using your
both eyes open? So
okay.
all right, I actually wouldn't even be able to tell you which eye I'm using, because no matter pistol or rifle, both eyes should be open at all times.
Tell me about Gamut Resolutions. What kind of training are you offering?
As of now, it is just a firearms instruction and training company. I'm getting products out there as we speak, where I'm having some sights done, and knives should be coming out shortly. But right now, it is just instruction. And that goes from anywhere from the absolute beginner who doesn't even know how to hold a gun to the most advanced shooter out there and to the law enforcement community.
Will you train female students?
Absolutely.
Have you trained them?
Yes.
How do you find them to be?
They're awesome. Yes. If you take a beginner female and a beginner male, the female's usually going to progress a lot quicker because they listen.
Now, you've got some DVDs out. I watched one on the carbine. You have plans for more?
Yes. So actually next month I'll be filming for my first pistol video, which is going to be a basic fundamentals or must-have pistol video that incorporates my KO drill that was in the rifle video. And then from there, absolutely, I'll go into the more advanced stuff. Vehicle videos, barrier stuff, more of the advanced shooting videos. But right now, I'm sticking with all the basic stuff, which is the most important.
Tell me about your work with Special Operations Care Fund. You're pretty high.
Yeah, so SOC-F, I was around from the beginning when they started. Just a great group of guys. They 100% of the money that comes in goes back to people in need.
So no salaried positions.
There is no salary. Half the time they're running events, they're coming out of their own pocket to put these things on. It's absolutely incredible. The guys that have started it and that are running it are just great Americans.
And who's it benefiting?
So it all goes to special operations.
All branches?
All branches, yep. And they basically just fill in the gaps where the military pay or military medical expenses won't cover. So that's where they're coming in. And you're talking a roof on a house that got blown over from a tornado. They'll come in if that's not going to be covered. That's some of that money goes to that. They work on a lot of the brain injury stuff, the TBI, A lot of the family readiness stuff, so for family retreats, which is huge in the special operations community and very important.
Tell me about Operation Blue, your charity. What are you doing?
Yeah, so Operation Blue, after dealing with the law enforcement or starting to get in with them and training them, I found out a lot of these guys were coming to me and paying out of pocket, which I had no clue that was going on. So after talking to them and finding out how little training they're getting.
Let me stop you there. So their departments aren't paying. These guys are paying their own cash to come and get training from you.
Yeah. Sick, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So after hearing that and then talking to them about, like, wait a minute, how much, I mean, these are guys that are pretty decent shooters because they're going out on their own to find instruction. And they're working in departments that they need to be at that higher level. And they're getting once a year training, or maybe at the advanced level of their work, maybe once a month. I mean, that's stuff when it comes to shooting. I mean, you need to be doing that once a week at a minimum, should be every day. And then not to be able to get ammo whenever they need to go practice, or not to get the time off, that they need during work hours to have to go out on their own and practice on the weekends. So the Operation Blue, I thought, well, there's other people out doing stuff like that, which I didn't know either. So when I thought of it, I was like, why not give these guys free training? So Operation Blue, usually how I work it is, it's 2 days. You go through my 2-day pistol rifle course for free. We'll try to get sponsors to donate ammo if the departments aren't giving them ammo, because that's another thing. Like, these guys are getting free training, but their departments won't give them ammo to go to the course. So we try to provide that as well. And then on top of that, they have to either do it on their off time on the weekends, or try to get their departments to let them do it, during the workday. So it's still, even though you're given free training, it's hard to get cops to actually sign up for it, or, they all want to do it, but they can't do it for free because they need ammo and time.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.